I don't
not
believe
what
this.
happened.
This
Listen
is
to me.
it was garbage.
This is
that was
not
totally out of left field in that piece. And the unnamed White House.
wasn't mine.
What do you mean it wasn't yours?
It got dropped in.
Who dropped it
my
in?
My editor and my researcher.
They dropped it
yes.
in without your
yes.
knowledge, and you're okay with that?
How do I sound?
What was the name of the researcher?
Oh,
no, the researcher's looking out for his future. He's 23 and time's a wasted. I want to give him a Lexus. What's his name?
CJ.
What's his name?
That's gonna stay between me and my boss. The researcher talked to 3 different people on background, just nuts and bolts.
Asking how many nuts and bolts doesn't get this quote.
As a matter of form, he tells them what I'm writing about. CJ, I don't know who he talked to.
I sent you to Donna when you asked...
I'm saying it wasn't necessarily Donna. I mean, in a million years, do you think, Donna?
No, but that day, yesterday, her boyfriend, Jack Reese, a Navy lieutenant commander, was reassigned from a White House position, and she was very angry about it.
Sometimes people say something to a researcher because they think they're not on the record.
They're not on the record!
No.
CJ?
Yeah.
It's Donna on the phone.
Well, this is gonna, I think, get interesting now. Yes, it's gonna get interesting. It will capture our interest. It will be written about. In English, I would think, as well as Arabic. You can say that 2 times. I suppose you can't blame Will completely.
Hi.
This is entirely your fault.
He came in the office.
You like Europe, he likes Europe. He could have talked about Europe.
That wasn't the subject.
You make it the subject. He says, here's this El Salvador speech I gave a long time ago, and you say?
I like Europe?
Yes.
Listen, something's happened.
What?
A White House aide is quoted in tomorrow's Post.
You can go in.
All right.
We're for freedom of speech everywhere. We're for freedom to worship everywhere. We're for freedom to learn for everybody. And because in our time you can build a bomb in your country and bring it to my country, what goes on in your country is very much my business. And so we are for freedom from tyranny everywhere, whether in the guise of political oppression, Toby, or economic slavery, Josh, or religious fanaticism, CJ. That most fundamental idea cannot be met with merely our support. It has to be met with our strength. Diplomatically, economically, materially. And if Pharaoh still don't free the slaves, then he gets the plagues of my cavalry, whichever gets there first. The USTR will go crazy and say that we're not considering global trade. Committee members will go crazy and say I haven't consulted enough. And the Arab world will just go indiscriminately crazy. No country has ever had a doctrine of intervention when only humanitarian interests were at stake. That streak's going to end Sunday at noon. So if you're on board with this, what I need you to do...
Comb through the language again, this time with counsel.
Carol, it's me. We're going to need new talking points for the full cabinet. No embargoed excerpts. Let's not give our critics any oxygen.
It's slim pickings.
I'll just keep standing here.
Let's make arrangements with some...
Excuse me. It is so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, everything else off the table. What were we gonna say before?
I'm gonna be on the phone.
Danny's got a piece out tomorrow on fault lines between the White House and the Pentagon.
He writes that story twice a year.
A researcher gathering background spoke to 3 people. One of whom was Donna, because your office is one of the places that keeps breakdowns of how Pentagon staff are detailed to the White House. The researcher was given an unprompted quote, which he gave to Danny's editor, who put it in the piece.
What was the quote?
Everyone's very loyal to everyone else around here unless you wear a uniform.
I know it sounds like it was Donna because of the situation with Jack, but there's no way she gives that quote to a reporter.
She didn't think she was on the record.
There's no way Donna said that.
She did. She just called me and told me she did, which I give her credit for.
You do? Heat of the moment, bad timing. You think?
President.
Is the pilot still alive?
He had an ACES 200 ejector seat on board.
NATO command in Brussels says the Aegis systems on the North Dakota picked up a tracking signal in the Foul Peninsula, south of Basra.
He's in the middle of nowhere.
Who else is out there?
The 4th Corps of the Iraqi RG would patrol the area.
Somebody's within 10 miles of the pilot.
Our guy is 10 miles from the 4th Corps of the Iraqi Republican Guard.
It's a matter of who gets there first.
Fitz, you got a rescue scenario?
Yeah, the 16th Special Operations Group out of Hurlburt Field.
They use the Pave Hawks.
And the MH-53J.
These are specially equipped helicopters. They fly treetop altitude at about 180 knots.
Mr. President, can I suggest that rather than jumping into a military rescue plan,
please.
that a phone call to Iraqi ambassador...
Phil, you want to check with the embassy?
I'm saying, Leo, that 3 hours spent on diplomatic solutions...
I'll tell you what, Phil. How about I drop you and your $47 million American warplane that's already been picked up by Iraqi radar in the middle of a desert? Then you tell me if we've got 3 hours to find a diplomatic solution before we come get you.
What's his name?
No, I'm sorry, sir.
The pilot, what's his name?
Captain Scott Hotchkiss,
Where's he from?
Rhode Island,
How old is he?
26.
Rob told me in my intelligence briefing last week that the Iraqi government's put out a bounty, the equivalent of $14,000 US, for any American plane shot down or any American soldier captured. Now, he was just patrolling the no-fly zone, right?
Yes, sir.
He had not engaged.
No, sir.
Phil, if it ends up Fitzwallace has to call this kid's parents, I swear to God, I'm invading Baghdad. Get him back.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. A U.S. Air Force F-117A Nighthawk stealth fighter attack aircraft flying a routine patrol out of Al Jaber Air Force Base in Kuwait was shot down over the southern no-fly zone in Iraq. At this point, we don't know the condition of the pilot. We do know the plane carries an ACES 200 ejector seat and that it was activated. General Richmond and General Clancy will talk more about that in a moment.
CJ!
Danny!
Is there a rescue mission underway?
Obviously, there are a number of scenarios being contemplated, but I wouldn't want to speculate. We have been in touch with the Iraqi government, and the president is looking for a diplomatic solution.
There have been no military moves.
No. Chris.
Charlie? Sir. Mr. President?
Fitz, do you have any news at all?
Actually, I think I'm going to have something in just a minute. They'll put the call through here.
Okay.
You mind if I wait with you, sir?
No.
How you feeling?
I feel fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel fine.
The eagle on the seal in the carpet. In one talon, he's holding arrows, and in the other, an olive branch. Most of the time, the eagle is facing the olive branch, but when Congress declares war, the eagle faces the arrows. How did he do that? Do you think they've got a second carpet sitting around in the basement someplace?
I don't know.
Maybe this piece in the middle cuts out and they do it like a basketball court.
I honestly don't know, Fitz.
Excuse me, Chairman. That's your call, the blinking light.
Thank you. I'll stop bugging you in just a minute, Mr. President. Yeah. Thanks. Mr. President, I have Captain Scott Hotchkiss on the phone. He's cleared Iraqi airspace, and he's on his way to Tel Aviv.
Fitz.
Congratulations, sir.
The kid's all right?
He's got a sprained ankle.
Well, that's a job awfully well done, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I owe you one.
No, that's not how it works.
All the same, I'm going to check out that thing with the carpet.
Talk to the pilot.
Seriously, I'm going to get an answer for you on that. Captain Hotchkiss, this is President Bartlet. How's your ankle? Good. Before you say another word, give me your parents' phone number. I never get to make this call.
So your friend couldn't come tonight?
By friend, of course, you were talking about.
Your special friend.
Sam, does she mean
My special friend.
What special friend?
his special friend that Zoe can't know about?
The hooker.
Okay, she's not a hooker. She's a call girl. And how do you know about this?
Mallory told me.
How does Mallory know about that?
I told her.
You told our boss's daughter that you slept with a call girl?
I didn't know she was Leo's daughter at the time. I thought she was a school teacher who came in with her class.
So you thought you were telling a complete stranger that you slept with a call girl?
Accidentally. Slept with the call girl. Mallory. Does your father know?
No.
Zoe? Does your father know?
Not yet.
Oh, so this is gonna be a thing.
Zoe and I have decided that it's time we start collecting IOUs.
She didn't bring my grasshopper.
She didn't?
No.
Maybe she just felt really stupid ordering it.
The grasshopper is a perfectly respectable...
I'll get it.
I'll get it.
I want to see them make it. Could you hold these?
What?
It's just lipstick and stuff. My panic button ruins the line of my outfit.
Got it.
It's called the grasshopper.
Straight up.
Make sure they make it extra thick and green. What is a panic button?
Oh, you don't want to know. I've seen it in action.
The president is a very protective father.
So you having a good time tonight?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Seems like you're not really having a good time.
He's having a good time.
Well, you think they know I don't go to college?
Who?
All these people.
Charlie, you're twice as smart as anyone in the room.
Yeah, but I don't go to college.
Relax. See, you keep telling him to relax with a sense of urgency.
I just want to make sure he's having a good time tonight.
He's having a good time. You relax.
Being urgent.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi. What's your name?
What?
I said, what's your name?
You're kidding, right?
Hey, you just asked me
No.
for your name.
I'm
Wait. Why don't we guess your name? All right?
sure.
All right, because I bet we can guess it.
I wouldn't say that there was urgency in my voice. I was simply asking if he was having a good time and suggesting that if he
Well,
relaxed...
maybe if you stop pestering him like you're his great Aunt Ida.
Excuse me one
You
second.
know what I'm saying?
It's Cassandra.
Ah, come on. You're gonna guess it. You just ruined it.
Is everything all right, Zoe?
Hey, you just called her Zoe.
Come on, let's go back to the table.
Whoa. What's up, Sammy?
Zoe,
Whoa, excuse me. Hey, we're trying to buy a girl a drink here, man.
she's 19 years old, man. You'd have to take her to Maryland.
Check out Superfly.
Let's go.
No? Why don't you go, all right?
Look, guys, you don't know who this is. You don't want any trouble. Be cool, all right? Be
cool.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm looking out for you.
I know what you're saying. You just want me to be cool, all right?
Let me buy you guys around.
Like LL Cool J, man. Like Ice-T.
Ice Cube, Ice Tray, man.
Why must you mock a perfectly natural brotherly
I'm
instinct?
not mocking it, Josh. I'm saying maybe if you left the young man alone. Josh,
I know.
Why don't you do some of that hip hop for us, G-Funk? Dr. Huffy Puffy Dread, man. Dr. Doolittle, man.
Would you let us by, please?
You don't know. You know what are you doing here with this girl? Huh? Huh? Because you know what? To me, you look to be Dr.
Hey. What the hell's going on around here?
Who the hell are you?
Hey, kiss my ass. Zoe?
I'm fine.
Kiss your what, Fairy Poppins?
Charlie? Everything's fine.
Hey, you want to go?
What?
You want to go? Let's do it right now.
How's
Come on.
everybody doing?
Oh, good. More fairy boys.
Excuse me?
I said more fairy boys.
Oh, this is too good to be true.
Yeah, I recognize this guy. Yeah, and she looks familiar, too.
Yeah, you guys don't realize it, but you're having a pretty bad night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's going to give it to us, huh?
Federal agent! Federal agent!
Go. Let's go.
Right here.
Shut up! I swear to God, I'll blow your head off.
Everybody stand back.
No, I ain't done with you, Sammy.
My name is Charlie Young, jackass. If that bulge in your pocket's an 8-ball of blow, you're spending spring break in a federal prison. Yeah. Now I'm having a good time.
Well, my work here is done.
CJ,
I saw it.
it's a death threat.
It's not a big deal.
You sure?
Yeah. Don't tell anybody, okay? I don't want a lot of production.
All right.
Thanks.
Josh, can you come in here and look at this, please?
Donna?
Look at what?
CJ's email.
Call Frank Tenney downstairs. Tell him I want to talk to him right away.
Yeah.
You take this seriously?
Yeah, it's a death threat, CJ. I take it seriously. I had some experience with this.
Ron?
CJ, Frank Tenney spoke to me this morning.
Yeah, Josh made me see him yesterday. He filed everything he was supposed to file.
Can I see the message?
It's just, you know, it's what it is.
Could you type in your password? Have you checked your email yet today?
I just got here.
Okay, he sent another one at 5:20 this morning. Have you had cyber threats before?
Not explicitly.
And Agent Tenney says that you don't recognize the sender's address.
No.
Have you had a bad breakup with a boyfriend lately?
God, Ron, I haven't had a boyfriend and I get a lot of hate mail. After the president, I'm the single most visible person in the federal government. Every day I'm on TV, and every day exactly half the people are going to disagree with you, and some of those people are going to hate you, and some of those people are going to write letters.
Yeah, this isn't hate mail. This is a death threat. Can I use your computer for a second?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna need to take your hard drive.
Why?
I just used traceroute tools and the server and the IP address don't match. The address was invented to disguise the origin.
In my briefing yesterday, I made some remarks about a situation in Saudi Arabia. I may have gone too far. I was thinking about apologizing and...
Yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with that.
What do you mean?
Muslim extremists don't get personal. They don't know your name, they don't care. They don't want one person, they want dozens or hundreds. That's why they don't use bullets. Killing one person is a waste of a bomb. He wants you. Why doesn't he want me? Someone will be by in a few minutes to get your hard drive, and we're intercepting all your emails from the address. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Good morning, Mr. President.
You're going to get Secret Service protection, but I can't order it unless you sign this piece of paper. So sign this piece of paper.
Sir, can I ask why you feel it's
Because
necessary
Ron
that
says it is, and around here we do whatever Ron says.
Well, I think it might be an overreaction.
Good for you. With all your years of training and experience in sniffing out crime, your opinion really carries a lot of weight with me.
I don't want to appear fragile.
Are you kidding?
Sir?
We're talking about one bodyguard. I have 12, and that's before I leave the house. You ever count the number of guns that come along with me when Abby and I take in a play at the Kennedy Center? Do I seem fragile to you?
No, sir.
Then?
You're also not a woman in a man's job. To say nothing of the fact that you're required by law to be protected by the Treasury Department. You don't have a choice. And frankly, sir, you and I both know that you've scored points frequently with the public and with the press by shrugging off your Secret Service and doing whatever, going to a bookstore.
I don't care.
Sir...
I don't care. You're part of my family, and this thing is happening, and I simply won't permit it. Sign the piece of paper.
Look...
Let me tell you something. The last time a member of my staff got a death threat, they missed him and hit me.
Ron, is there any evidence at all that this guy... Look, I work in the White House. Everybody knows that. But is there any evidence to suggest that... Where did you get these?
Today's email.
That's me leaving my house on Monday. This one's at a restaurant where I had dinner with my niece.
Mr. President,
We ready to go?
Ambassador Cochran's in the mural room and Ted Mitchell's waiting outside.
Where are we putting LaBelle and his people?
In the Roosevelt room.
He's gonna have a lot of staff with him. Yes, sir. I don't know what any of them do, but there they are, wherever LaBelle goes, 14, 15 guys.
Mr. President.
I'm gonna take care of this first, and I'll see you across the hall.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Who's in the mural room?
Ken Cochran.
You did it again.
I'm sorry, sir.
When you said the name Cochran, it was like you knew him.
No, sir.
I have a sense about these things.
Yes, sir.
A finely honed sense.
It's failing you at the moment, sir.
Cochran's in the mural room?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you go sit with him and send in Ted Mitchell?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yes, of course. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Ted,
Mr. President.
thank you for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Hey, you're looking good.
Oh, I feel good.
How is Mary?
She sends her love.
All right, listen, I have something to do in the next room. Let me just tell you that I need a favor.
Oh, of course, sir.
I need you to hire a guy.
Who, sir?
The former ambassador to Bulgaria,
Who is that, sir?
Ken Cochran.
Well, isn't Ken Cochran the current ambassador to Bulgaria?
Not for long. Look, he's a good man, a smart man. I think he'd make a very good corporate officer.
Why is he being fired, sir?
Gross incompetence. I'll be right back.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nancy.
Senator Lobel's in the Roosevelt room.
Yeah, I'll be right in.
Mr. President.
Ken.
It's good to see you again, sir.
Thank you for flying in on such short notice.
Of course, Mr. President. What can I do for you?
Resign.
Excuse me?
You've been having an affair with the daughter of the Prime Minister, and that doesn't work for me. But neither does a newspaper article saying you're having an affair with the daughter of the Prime Minister, so I need you to resign. You're going to get a job offer from Ted Mitchell for a lot more money than you're making now. That's why you left the embassy. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, this is outrageous. This is outrageous, and I'll explain that to him when he comes back in here.
Yes, sir.
Have we met?
Sir?
You look very familiar to me. Have we met?
Yes, sir.
Where?
I was a waiter at the Gramercy Club.
Charlie?
Yes, sir.
Charlie?
Yes, sir.
It's good to see you again.
Yes, sir.
Under strange circumstances, which, when the president comes back, I'll explain
Yes,
that to
sir.
him. I resigned my membership in that club, by the way.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. I find exclusive clubs to be repugnant.
I couldn't help but notice it didn't stop you from joining up in the first place.
Now, that's out of line. That's out of line, and that shouldn't have been said. And you've forgotten that you're addressing a U.S. ambassador.
I apologize, sir.
I'm sorry to do this, but I'd like to speak to your supervisor.
Well, I'm personal aide to the president, so my supervisor's a little busy right now looking for a back door to this place to shove you out of. But I'll let him know you'd like to lodge a complaint.
Thanks for waiting.
Mr. President, clearly, this young man who works for you has told you something about our past, and I'd like to say here and
It
now...
doesn't have anything to do with it. Oh, wait a second. You two have a past?
Sir.
You mocked my finely honed sense.
Yes, sir.
You stood there in my face,
Sir.
and it's done, Ken. Ted Mitchell's going to put you on the board of directors. And please remember that I have a lot of affection for your wife, and I would hate to see her be made a fool of.
I think it would be appropriate at this time, Mr. President, to make a confession.
What's that?
I never voted for you.
Well, thanks for trying, but here I am anyway. Gotta go.
We both going to the ONDCP briefing?
No, we're going in here.
Gee, Toby, people are going to talk.
I'm curious. It wouldn't be for the obvious reason, would it?
What's the obvious reason?
You're a conservative. Maybe you'd love to see him stay on the bench. A liberal icon reduced to a quivering mass of octogenarian confusion.
Hold on.
Hanging on till he can be replaced by a paleo-Republican. Constitution's a living document. You stick to it like it's a boilerplate lease.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay.
Every year, he likes to hire a conservative clerk to argue with. And arguing with him helped me clarify the things I believe in. And one of those things is an independent court, above party or interest.
He has memory lapses. Drifts during oral arguments.
He has his good and bad
Associate
days.
justices are already postponing decisions, holding over important cases, going behind his back to assign opinions.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do. There's no one else left, Joe. He's outlived his wife. His son shot down over Hanoi. It's just his clerks like you.
You can't do anything.
Let's go over there together right now, you and me.
To the hospital?
He'll see you. You tell me he's okay, and I'll call off the vultures.
Hey, Lisa, you catch the night shift?
6 to midnight. Steve's coming in to handle the overnights.
This is Toby Ziegler. Toby, this is Lisa Zimmer, one of the justice's clerks.
Sure, I've seen you on Crossfire. I hope you won't be offended, Mr. Ziegler, but we're keeping it to family only. You know, friends, colleagues.
I just came along to keep Joe company. I saw a coffee cart down the lobby. You want anything?
I'm good.
Lisa, I'll be downstairs when you're done.
So,
I don't know what they've told you, but he always bounces back. Joe. He always does.
sir. Mr. Chief Justice.
Joe?
I gave him the president's regards.
What'd he say? How is he? Was he coherent?
You know why I didn't want it to spread that I used to clerk for him? Because I knew that someday somebody like you will come up to me and ask me to do something like this.
So he's all right?
You guys, you think it's all a game. You're treating the court like it's Tammany Hall gone national.
Your side does it better. Pushing neoconservatives in swaddling clothes, hoping they don't grow a conscience, let alone a meager understanding of jurisprudence.
Maybe we could all do it better. But there is such a thing called judicial independence. A lifetime appointment. He's still alive, so he gets to decide when it's time.
What did he say? Or can he even speak?
He's fine, Toby. He was up, joking. He'll be back in chambers in a couple of days.
Galileo 5.
Yes, sir.
Just the name.
Galileo 5.
You can feel the adventure.
Yes, indeed.
NASA's great at naming things.
They are.
Mercury, Apollo, Atlantis, the Sea of Tranquility, the Ocean of Storms.
Good names.
First time I heard Galileo 5, the way the imagination immediately, it reminded me of the way folks in my generation felt when we heard Yellow Submarine.
Okay.
We really did all want to live in a yellow submarine.
I can't believe they gave you people driver's licenses.
Tell me where we're going again.
Mars briefing rehearsal.
Why?
To rehearse.
Say the name.
I said the name.
Say it again. Your imagination, like a child, will explode with unrestrained possibilities for adventure.
Galileo 5.
You didn't say it right.
I said it fine.
Say it again.
Who wrote this intro?
I did.
You're from NASA Public Affairs?
Yeah.
You mind if I give it a polish?
Is there a problem?
No, it's great. You mind if I change it?
I'd prefer if you didn't.
Just the same.
Public Affairs has cleared the text. If it's going to be changed, I'd prefer if the president changed it.
See, that's kind of what he pays me to do, so.
Look, I don't want to step on your toes. You don't want to step on mine. We're both writers.
Yes, I suppose, if we broaden the definition to those who can spell.
Excuse me?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Sir, this is the crew from NASA Public Affairs.
How you doing?
Sir, we're going to run you through the drill for tomorrow morning. First of all, you'll be flanked on either side by the Flight Operations Manager, David Narakawa, and NASA Chief Administrator, Dr. Peter Jobson. On either side of them will be Dr. Samuel Thurman of the Meteorite Analysis Team from the Johnson Space Center and Dr. Joyce Gray Sutton, planetary geologist from Cal State Northridge. On these monitors, you'll be seeing the images beamed back from the surface, and on this computer screen, you'll be able to read the questions being sent in by the kids. I strongly urge you.
Yes.
I strongly urge you.
I know.
I strongly urge you, Mr. President, to act as moderator and pass the questions off to one of the experts on the panel rather than answer it yourself.
Yes.
Would you like to see some of the questions?
We have questions in advance.
Some of them. Would you put them up?
Sure. Katie, 6th grader, Green Oaks, Junior High School, Austin, Texas, asked, how old is the planet Mars? That's a great question, Katie. The planet Mars is 4.6 billion years old.
What did I just say?
I knew that one.
Nobody likes a know-it-all.
Yes, God forbid that while talking to 60,000 public school students, the president should appear smart.
That's fine. Just don't show off.
I don't show off. Stevie, 4th grader, PS 31, Manhattan, asked, what is the temperature on Mars? Well, Stevie, if one of our expert panelists were here, they would tell you the average temperature ranges from 15 degrees to minus 140.
That happens to be wrong. It ranges from 60 to minus 225.
I converted it to Celsius in my head.
Thank you.
Can I see the intro?
It's up on the prompter.
Good morning. I'm speaking to you live from the West Wing of the White House. Today, we have a very unique opportunity to take part live in an extremely historic event which, whoa, boy.
How you doing, Mr. President?
Who wrote this intro?
I did, sir. I'm Scott Tate from NASA Public Affairs.
Scott, unique means one of a kind. Something can't be very unique, nor can it be extremely historic.
While we're at it, do we have to use the word live twice in the first two sentences like we just cracked the technology?
Look,
we're also broadcasting in living color, right?
Sam?
Yeah.
He's gonna make some changes.
You can clear him with me?
I doubt it. Write this. Good morning. 11 months ago, a 1,200-pound spacecraft blasted off from Cape Canaveral, Florida. 18 hours ago, is it 18 hours ago? We're on the air at noon Eastern.
Yeah.
18 hours ago, it landed on the planet Mars. You, me, and 60,000 of your fellow students across the country, along with astroscientists and engineers from the Jet Propulsion Lab in Southern California, NASA Houston, and right here at the White House, we're going to be the first to see what it sees and to chronicle the extraordinary voyage of an unmanned ship called Galileo 5.
He said it right.
687 days?
Yeah.
Hi, Carol.
Hey, Toby.
The Martian year is 687 days.
Yes? Did you see this morning's news report?
I'm boning up my Mars.
CJ?
He thinks he's so smart just because, you know, he's so smart.
Did you see this
Of course
morning?
I saw the news report. I highlighted your copy.
You didn't highlight the green bean story.
No, I thought it was best just to alert Justice Department officials.
An unnamed White House source.
I read the story. I just didn't highlight it.
You don't think this is going to get picked up?
No,
Why not?
it's absolutely not a story.
Come see me in 3 hours.
It's not a story.
See me in 3 hours.
How many moons does Mars have?
2, Phobos and Deimos, the 2 horses that pulled his chariot.
Get out.
3 hours.
Carol?
Yeah.
She wants information on green beans.
You have work to do.
I'm picking a stamp.
Nobody likes people who know everything.
Who I've discovered in my life.
Give me information on green beans. I'll get them on the line now. Margaret, I need Stanley at State and Henry at Trade for a conference call with the president on Air Force One. When? Right now. What's up, Amy?
Here's where we are so far. We've got someone ready to go for every one of those job titles. The people in those jobs should be ready to move out by Inauguration Day.
I'll let them know.
Things aren't moving so fast with the state. The president-elect doesn't want any empty desks at State with the Kazakhstan crisis still hot, so he'd like all the undersecretaries and assistant secretaries to plan to stay in place for a while.
He's having trouble picking a secretary?
He's still staring at the short list.
Nancy McNally?
I have no idea. I'm just the messenger. She's on the short list.
Good.
Helen Santos is here. And Stanley is having his teeth whitened right now, so they're trying to find someone at Trade who can do the conference call.
Okay. My once proud team.
I'll just duck out this way.
problems with the First Lady-elect?
Just not her favorite person today.
Come on.
It's nothing really.
I'll slip out of your way. Hello, Mrs. Santos. I'm C.J. Craig.
I know, we get CNN in Texas. Do me a favor.
Sure, anything.
Please call me Helen.
Okay. How are we doing?
Got everyone ready, but now the president's on another call.
The First Lady would have loved to have shown you around, but she's on her way to Brussels with the president. They've asked me to make you feel at home.
Oh, in this place?
Well, you'll see the residence does have some homey touches.
Like?
You could get bunk beds for the kids.
I gotta find a school for them first before I think about bedrooms.
Jim Kane can help you with that.
The Secretary of Education.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Personal staff is waiting for you in the East Room. Most of them have been here a long time. They really know their stuff.
All I need is a nanny type and someone to help clean up the kids' bedrooms.
I think they can manage that. This is Curtis Schaefer.
Nice to meet you.
My pleasure, Mrs. Santos.
Mr. Schaefer is the chief usher.
Chief usher?
Means he's the man in charge.
If it's all right with you, I thought we'd begin with a quick introduction to everyone, then split off into individual meetings with the executive chef. The pastry chef, I imagine your children might have some favorite desserts he'll want to know about. Then the head florist would like a few minutes, just to get a general impression of your preferences and the president-elect's preferences.
The president-elect doesn't have a flower preference.
So for the Oval Office?
Oh, he'll never notice the flowers. Whatever you like is fine.
I understand. You don't need to meet with the butlers and maids individually, but it would be very helpful if you could spend a few minutes with the president-elect's valet today, because he needs to finalize his...
I'm sorry, could you excuse us for 1 minute, please? Thanks. Okay, this is too much. We don't need all these people.
Okay. Which ones do you want to fire?
Do you think St. Albans was a little, stuffy?
A little?
Bancroft was more down to earth.
Yep.
What?
The idea of spending $25,000 for fifth grade?
Ridiculous.
What would public school be like if we spent $25,000 per pupil?
In 1 year, we will spend more for 2 kids than my entire education
Hey,
cost.
I actually got a paycheck at Annapolis.
Where is the next school?
What next school? I thought we were only doing 2 schools today.
I told your scheduler that we had 3 schools
Honey,
to check out.
I can't do another school today. I have to get back to the office. I've got Arnold Vinnick waiting for me.
The president-elect is on the line for you.
Hello?
Hey, Arnie. Thanks for coming in to see me. Listen, I'm really sorry about the scheduling mix-up. We're looking at schools for kids, and it's taking longer than we thought.
I understand.
So can we push our meeting back for about an hour?
Well, my schedule's pretty busy these days.
Well, let's see what our staffs can work out.
Yeah, sure.
Really appreciate any time that you can give me today. And again, I'm sorry about having to reschedule.
No problem.
Honest with you, I didn't even know we had offices down here.
That bodes well for me.
I wonder what else we got down here.
Bats, possibly?
Room 442 is what we're looking for. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it any second now.
You really didn't need to take me down here.
There's no way you'd find it yourself.
You're the White House Chief of Staff. You shouldn't be.
Don't worry about it. 442? Where the hell is it?
You've been really decent to me, Leo. I want to thank you for that.
Kid, the others are gonna come around.
No, they won't.
See, you gotta remember that the people you're talking about live their lives under siege, 24 hours, every day, at a time in their lives where they're trying with all their might to do good. You're in their foxhole. Sam Seaborn had this innocent relationship with a girl. Bam, here comes the enemy. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Bam. Radio, TV, magazines, cameras in front of my house. People shouting at my daughter at the ball game. Editorials, op-eds. He's a drunk. He's dangerous. He should resign.
I wrote one of those op-ed pieces.
I know. It's right over here. 442. It's written down here, this is the steam pipe trunk distribution venue.
I'm working in the steam pipe trunk distribution venue?
No, you're working in your office.
Well, thank you for the help.
Hey. Hey,
Hey,
did you talk to Steve Joyce and Mark Brookline?
yes, I did.
See, I was told you were just going to be working the majority counsel's office, which I wasn't wild about to begin with, but it's my understanding I'd be talking to Brookline and Joyce, seeing as how they work for me.
I was taking initiative.
Well, wasn't that spunky of you?
Sam, do you think there's any chance that you could be rude to me tomorrow? Tomorrow is Saturday. I will be here. You can call me and be rude by phone, or you can stop by and do it in person. Because I think if I have to endure another disappointment today from this place that I have worshipped, I am going to lose it. So if you could wait until tomorrow, I would appreciate it.
Anyway, the jury returned a $7 million. I'll be back in just a second, okay? Ainsley? Look, can I talk to you for a minute? All of us really trying to say, who did this? Who did this?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Don't worry
Who
about
sent
it.
you this?
Don't worry about
Ainsley?
it. Sam,
How did your meeting end up going with Brookline and Joyce?
it went great, Sam. I talked to them for a couple of minutes, and I think that... Sam!
Did anybody order a pizza? And if they didn't, could they do it now?
You know what, guys? When I write something, I sign my name. Here, I'll show you. Sam! You have any idea how big of a harassment suit you just exposed us to? She works here. Which is more than I could say for either one of you. You're fired. S. Seaborn.
Sam, I don't know who you think you are around here, but you can't fire us.
Oh, yes, he can. Leave here and don't ever come back. It's time for both of you to write your book now.
Morning, ma'am. Staff Sergeant Kelty. This is Sergeant Wolitzer.
Is everything all right?
Sure is. May we?
It's 5:30.
5:26 on mine. I'm going to use this chair here.
We couldn't do this at my office?
According to our logs, you usually exit the building here.
Right.
All right, you may find it's easier to head out the west gate now. It's closer for your parking. I mean, you're going to have to time that, but in the event of a situation, we'll need you to exit here. Miss Craig?
I'm listening. What kind of situation?
A nuclear attack?
Are we expecting one?
Well, any attack, but nuclear is going to top the list. So you'll exit here directly to Marine One. You'll sit at S5 behind the president to the left the NSA, and they'll evacuate you to your secure location.
Okay.
If there's a situation in your home, we'll ask that you make your way with all due haste to this field off Denville Road. It's about a mile to the south.
A field.
Pasture, more like.
I'll be standing with cows.
A couple of horses is all, and they'll scoot out the way as soon as the copter shows up. It won't be more than 3 minutes from code call to liftoff.
Excuse me.
Morning.
No.
Sorry. Agents DeCastro and Shea, they will be...
I do not need a Secret Service detail.
They'll give you a wide berth.
Could we please discuss this?
Not really. Have you got a spare room or a basement or something? They're gonna need a place to sleep.
You're not waiting, right?
I just knocked. You okay?
In the event of an emergency, I stand in a field with a cow and wait to be airlifted.
Hey.
Morning,
there
sir.
she is.
Good morning, Mr. President.
You excited?
Absolutely. Berlin's your first call. They're angling for a piece of the Baltic shipping deal. We can't make it happen.
Look at that. Hit the ground running.
I won't be in the security briefing. I've got paperwork with the CIA, but NSC will get me up to speed.
Sky's falling, damage estimate to follow.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be great at this.
Thank you, Mr. President.
She's going to be great.
Is she nervous?
No, she looks fine.
Oh, that's good. I'd be apoplectic.
Let's keep it light today. Anything you can, hold till next week.
Already on it.
Check the hospital, see if Leo's up to a phone call.
This is Elroy. He brings the briefing books. You guys are going to be friends.
These are this week's?
These are today's.
Ready?
I told Josh to be there in case you need backup. He probably forgot.
I don't need backup.
Just try to keep tight rein. I'm not the story. Leo's not the story.
I know. Camp David's a story. Stop worrying.
Yeah, that. Good morning. This will be my last briefing as White House press secretary. Toby Ziegler will be filling in until the president names a replacement. I'll ask you to please be kind to him, and if you can't be kind, at least speak slowly. These past 6 years working for this exceptional group of journalists, I'm sorry, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Thank you. After bypass surgery at Bethesda Naval Hospital 36 hours ago, I'm relieved to announce that Leo McGarry is in stable condition and headed for a full recovery. Though he will always be a very valuable part of this administration, he will not be returning to his post. I am therefore pleased and terribly proud to announce that, effective immediately, the position of White House Chief of Staff will be filled by Claudia Jean Craig. Congratulations.
Peacekeepers. I do not have an answer.
Can you point us towards the subject you're commenting on?
Can you find out where counsel put the DOD analysis?
CJ Craig's role will be the same as Leo McGarry. Title, parking spot, gym membership.
She's not coming into this with any kind of national security experience.
The president has a flock of national security professionals prepared to address his questions and the chief of staff.
But we're about to stage a military action that'll have
military incursion into the most entrenched conflict on the planet. CJ Craig's not the only one working without a net.
No.
Every confidence.
You just said nobody has experience with this kind of military incursion.
The Pentagon has experience, as do the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the NSC. But in the event they all lose their way, the president can always send CJ Craig to Ramallah to swat at suicide bombers with her purse.
Nobody policy portfolio?
Oh, good Lord.
My purse! Paige Carroll, get him the hell out of there!
Who has the quote?
I got the president can send C.J. Craig to Ramallah to swat at suicide bombers with her purse.